Hello, we are the Geeks and the Degenerates, and we are back in Middle Earth to talk about the return of the King, the last of the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. With me, as always, is Jum, and yeah, let's just get into it.
Mm.
This is literally divided into two plots, one being with Sam and Frodo and Gollum, and the rest being in Minas Tirith with Aragorn, Gandalf, Legolas, and Gimli.
Mm. Yeah.
Uh,
You gotta also put in the whole separated path with Pippin and Merry,
yeah, well,
where they join the army but in two different factions,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is a pretty like, oh, that's a odd dynamic, but yet super interesting. Where these two guys clearly hate each other. Not Merry and Pippin, the two kings of or the rulers of Rohan and
Gondor,
Gondor.
yeah. Um, but we start seeing Gollum's origins, where he and uh, Daegol find the ring, the one ring to rule all other rings.
I blame that fish.
Yeah,
But when Gollum was still Andy Circus.
yeah. Like his friend finds the ring, and he's like, "We want it. Can we have it? Like, why? It's my birthday.
It's my
Please."
birthday.
Yeah,
Dude, I don't get how the ring works from this. Because seeing the ring first time from Frodo's eyes, it kind of took its time. Sure, he was like, ah, same face as his uncle. He's like, ah.
yeah.
Nah, he does get tempted, but he didn't immediately like stab a bitch just because they were like, "Can I see the ring?"
I guess you can see it as a metaphor for like addiction too. Like, what will you do
Yeah.
for that one more sip or sniff of drugs or alcohol or whatever?
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, you see Smeagol deform into Gollum. He forgets what the wind feels like. He forgets the taste of bread, opting for fish, sweet juicy fish. Like,
Raw fish.
yeah, like oh god,
Yeah.
uh,
I hate that scene.
yeah,
I'm sorry. I don't like mouth eaters. So all the mouth eaters out in the world, even our geeks and degenerates audience, if you eat with your mouth open, how dare you live?
yeah. And it closes with him saying, "We even forgot our own name," and then cuts to Frodo, Sam, and Gollum still going off on Mordor, and like they're near the path, but Sam hears Gollum say, "Oh, we should kill the Hobbitess to get the One Ring."
Mm.
And Sam hears him, and he's like, "We can't trust him." And Frodo again sees like this kinship. You're like, he's like me. He's going through what I go through. I can't send him away. Plus, we'll be lost.
Yeah, we have that. But this thing, Gollum, he's pretty much leading them to a trap.
Yeah,
So I'm like, eh, I I guess you could sympathize with Frodo here and be like, yeah, he's probably the only guy he could relate to. And your like longtime best friend Samwise Gamgee right beside you as well.
but yeah,
Jesus Christ. Sorry. Okay. Do you want to hear my hot take for this movie? I find Frodo annoying. He is the most annoying character, and everybody was like rooting for. I get it. He is carrying the ring, but everybody's like, "Where's Frodo? Frodo's dead. Oh my god, Frodo." How about Sam? Sam Solo the spider burst through a couple of orcs to save Frodo and carried him to Mount Doom.
yeah, but they don't know that.
I know, but that's what pisses me off is that even though they don't know what's happening out there, they still don't consider. What about Sam? Like
Well,
Frodo's not alone on this journey,
Sam's
you
like
know,
carrying the One Ring.
but he's still the best friend.
Yeah, but like
Nah,
Frodo has
fuck you.
the Doomsday
Frodo's
Key.
annoying and useless. Every time they're like, we have to stay in cover. I'm like, oh sure, say that the ring is like corrupting him and shit. Man, be useful at least once.
Yeah,
Fuck.
but yeah,
You
off they go into Mordor.
Frodo wait. Dead weight. Sam carried the ring for probably a couple of hours and he was fine.
But he carried Frodo, not the ring.
No, he carried it in his pocket. He could have soloed this mission and he would have done fine.
Sure. But yeah, we cut back to the rest of the group, and and
I want
Pippin,
justice for Samwise Gamgee.
and they find the plant here in uh, Isengard, and they take it back. But Pippin's too curious, so he peeks inside, and he sees Sauron, and Sauron sees him. What?
Sorry. I love this scene because, like, right from the start of the whole what do you call it? This entire series, or sorry, this trilogy. You can tell like Gandalf has it out for like Pippin,
Yeah.
Marion, Pippin,
Yeah, yeah.
and like,
Especially for Pippin.
yeah, but he's like, you fool,
Yeah.
and then like, oh my god, Pippin, are you okay? And pushes like Marion out of the way. I was like, whoa.
And it's true, Pippin, that they discovered Sauron's next target is Minas Tirith because after the defeat in Helm's Deep, he's like, oh fuck, men aren't so cowardly after all. And they're riding with the king, the heir of the throne, son of Arathor. Oh shit. Well, I can't have that, so I'm gonna seize the capital city and burn it to the ground. And Gandalf and the rest are like, obviously we can't have that. So, yes, Gandalf and Pippin ride off to Minas Tirith, and he asks Aragorn to wait for a while, or join the rest of the army and wait for the beacons to be lit.
Yeah,
Uh,
and that's all entirely on the chances of the beacons being lit.
yeah,
Because there is, as I said early on into this movie, Gondor and Rohan do not really like each other.
yeah. Theoden's like, why should I come to the aid of Gondor? They didn't come to our aid.
Yeah, but it's not about you anymore.
Yeah.
It's about the land of man.
Yeah. And then they ride into Gondor and into Minas Tirith, and then Gandalf tells Pippin like, Denethor is the steward of this land. Don't mention anything about Frodo or the Ring, or about his son,
Or even his son.
or about
Actually, just
Aragorn.
just
talk.
don't speak. Just don't talk.
Yeah, and then he goes to Denethor, and he's like, "There's evil approaching your lands, and like you should fight back, and you'll have the help of Rohan." He's like, "You think I'm an idiot, Mithrandil? I know who rides with Theoden, and it's Aragorn, the son of Arathorn. I will not bow to the stranger from the north." He's like, "It's not your call to deny the return of the king, steward." He's like, "Rule of Gondor is mine, and no one else's."
Matt was pretty much just power hungry.
Yeah,
Matt wasn't even king. He's just a steward, just waiting on the king.
yeah, and Pippin unfortunately swears loyalty to the king in return for Boromir, yeah, saving them and having his life dying in the process.
Mm.
And then at night they see that the army is approaching, and they sense the dawn of war. It's essentially the calm before the storm. And Pippin's like, "Well, we have the White Wizard. That should count for something, right?" Gandalf's like, "Yeah, but they haven't shown their deadliest player yet, which is the Witch King of Agmar, which you've seen in the Fellowship, but he has his armor now and his Drake."
Yeah, like this man has fully decked out at this point.
Yeah.
And I do love the design of him. Sadly, he was, in my opinion, underutilized.
Yeah, I wish there was a showdown between him and Gandalf for a bit.
Yeah, before he blew up his staff. But we'll get to that scene later.
Yeah.
And we do get his cool scene with what was his name again? The brother of Boromir,
Faramir?
Faramir, where they were supposed to be, where they're stationed, immediately gets overrun. As soon as after they taken the city, they get hit again,
Yeah.
and they had to flee.
Yeah. They're traced by this Harvey Dent as a orc. You're like, that guy's cool.
Well,
New York just goes, "The age of man has ended. The time of the orc has begun."
I knew you were gonna do that.
Yeah. But yeah, he flees to back to Minas Tirith, and it's a cool scene because they're all being chased by the Nazgul as well. And then Gandalf comes out with his staff and he shines the light, and the Nazgul flee, and Faramir escapes to Minas Tirith, and as they're resting for a bit, he notices like, holy shit, that's a hobbit. And Gandalf's like, this is not the first time you've seen a hobbit, hasn't it? Like, nope.
Yeah.
You've seen Sam and Frodo. Yes.
Yep.
And then it's like, come, we need to have some words. And then we cut to, oh no, before that, he has Pippin do this scary solo mission. It's like, you have to light the beacons of Gondor. Don't let me down.
Yeah. No, like, yeah, Pippin had to pretty much like climb this treacherous like tower
Yeah.
just to like these guards were blind. I would have
Right.
seen it like from a mile away from that camera angle, but I
Right.
guess they were busy.
Yeah, we're like, we don't get paid enough for this shit.
Mhm.
And then
But the beacons were lit, and everybody got informed that hey,
Gondor
Gondor
calls,
needs help.
calls for aid. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that though. Gondor calls for aid.
Right? And Aragorn and Theoden ride out, and Éomer call Urban's like, Men of Rohan, oaths you have kept, now's the day to fulfill them. Ride for lord and country. Something like that, along those lines.
Right with me.
But like, he didn't have much lines, but the words he says, like this speech, are like, alright, Carl Urban's pretty cool.
Dude, I keep forgetting like how quintessential character. Sorry, like how important, like sorry, I don't know why quintessential came up. How important like Carl Urban's character was here. I was like,
Yeah.
Why do I not remember you? Is it because of the hair?
And then you learn from Eowyn, like, these men are loyal to you, Aragorn. They will even die for you. You're the captain, you are their hope. And off to Gondor they ride. And then we cut back to Frodo and Sam, and Frodo is literally dying because they're climbing these tall steps. And then Gollum's like, the fat one. He will ask for the ring. He wants it. You're like, leave Sam alone, you fucking dickbag.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Sam's like, he's just minding his own goddamn business, and Frodo's like, he's right.
Yeah.
My best friend for years is gonna turn on me. Thank you, person who I just met a couple of days ago.
Again, like, it could be a metaphor for addiction. We're like, oh no, he's gonna steal the thing I need the most. But later on, when they're sleeping, like, Gollum frames Sam for eating the last of the bread. And Sam's like, no, it wasn't me, it was Gollum's like, I don't eat nasty.
I love this scene so much where he's like, I don't eat nasty. I was like, you liar.
Yeah.
And it starts wailing on him. I was like, yes! Yes!
And then
I was
he's like,
I don't like seeing anemics being punched in the face, but I like seeing that anemic being punched in the face.
and he's like, he has to go, and Frodo's like, no, Sam, you have to go. We're like, oh, why would you do that to Sam? And then
Again, useless, annoying. I like Carl Urban, and I don't even remember his name more than Frodo.
But yeah, they go their separate ways. Then we cut back to, first we go to, I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm not doing this chronologically, but like, I'm doing the best with my memory.
Okay. So everybody who's watching, this was like 4 hours.
Yeah.
So give us a little break if we're not gonna hit beat for beat. But I was shocked that this thing was 4 hours.
We see Arwen, she's going to the supposed afterlife. She's like, wait, she sees a child. She's a vision of a child, and Aragorn are like, oh, Dad kind of withheld the truth that we do have a child, and I have something to live for after Aragorn's passing. So she rides back and convinces him, like, no, I want to be in this mortal plane, and also convinces him to reforge the sword of Isildur, which was broken.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
To all the blacksmiths out there, for sure, this is not how it works. But you gotta admit, like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it takes more than just tap with the hammer.
like just putting two pieces together, heat it up, and just
Yeah, like, I
for
hope
sure.
it works.
Nah, they did say that like you gotta melt the entire sword. You don't just mend things together like mighty bond that shit.
Yeah, it's like, I hope Elrond knows what he's talking about. But cut back to Minas Tirith, and Denethor has already gotten the oath from Pippin, and he's feasting while his son's like, he tells his son to be like, we have to take back Osgiliath. We can't just give it up. He's like, but it's overrun. Is there no captain with the bravery to take back the city? He's like, oh, I see. You wish
Yeah.
Faramir was here and I was dead. Yes, I do wish
Yes.
that.
Oh, another annoying character. I really hated this guy.
Then of
When he's a
course,
mouth eater, to we'll talk about that soon.
yeah. And then Faramir is sent to his death charge, and he asks Pippin to sing him a song, and it's a sad scene seeing Faramir charge hopelessly against the entire city swarmed with orcs. And as Pippin's singing, you just see the arrows being ready to launch, and you're like, I don't think he makes it.
Nah, nobody made it besides Fairman.
Yeah.
And the entire time, I hate mouth eating. As like he as like Pippin's just singing, you see the what's his name?
Denethor.
Yeah, just eating, and I was like, I wanna kill you. This character, not the actor. The actor
Yeah.
did an amazing job playing an asshole.
Yeah. He still does. He was Scarecrow in Arkham Knight, and he was Butcher's dad in The Boys. I'm like, oh, you're always the bad guy or an asshole. He was also in Frasier? I haven't seen
No,
that.
Fringe.
Fringe. Thank you.
Not Frasier.
Yeah, and then Theoden and Aragorn arrive at the camp, and they're like, this is not enough men. What do we do? And they're like, doesn't matter. We ride out tomorrow. We have to. And then you find out from the men that, oh, this mountain also hides the spirits of the dead, traitors and deserters and thieves who are in this mountain. And it's in this mountain that Elrond comes up and gives the sword to Aragorn, because he's like, we don't have enough men. He's like, you have the army of the dead. He's like, they'll never listen to me. They will listen to the king.
That kind of like, this is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, this is so fucking sick. Where like, you will command an unstoppable army.
Yeah.
Like legit, they're dead, which is the fucking coolest thing.
Yeah. And then we kind of get a cute scene with Merry and Eowyn, where he has a sword, and she's like, come on, go to the black smith and sharpen your sword. And Eomer's like, you shouldn't give him much hope. He's like, why not? I don't doubt his heart, but I doubt the reach of his hand. It's like, why shouldn't, she's like, why shouldn't Merry also give his life for the Middle Earth? He has much as heart as anyone else.
He has the right to fight for his friends and his loved ones.
Yeah.
I get both sides from Carl Urban and Theowen here.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't remember names. They all
Eowyn?
start to meld together. Eowyn.
Yeah.
No, but like she wants to fight. She also wants to fight, especially with like Mary.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know what war is like, which Carl Urban does.
Yeah.
Like him, he doesn't want to go through that shit, but he has to. But he also has experience, so he's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
They don't. So the thing that he doesn't want is for them to just die.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Then we cut back to Osgiliath, and the Witch King just says, send forth legions. And it's like, what about the White Wizard? I will break him. We're like, can't wait for that showdown. Never, I guess.
Never.
Yeah.
It was like, I'll break your stick.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah. And then we cut back to Aragorn, in camp with Aragorn, Gimli, and Elrond, Legolas. Because he's like, I have to do this mission on my own.
Wrong elf.
Yeah. I have to summon the dead on my own. And Gimli's like, haven't you learned your lesson? Dwarves don't listen and are stubborn. So it's the elf. So they go into the mountain on their own, and the men are like, oh shit, our captain's running. What now? And Theoden's like, no, just getting reinforcement. Just come down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they ride ahead, and he sees Merry. He's like, hobbits don't belong in battle. He's like, but I want to fight. Nope. Too bad. And he rides off ahead, and he's picked up by Eowyn. She's like, ride with me. And Aragorn,
That's right. Oh, by the way, to clear it up, Theowen's in like disguised armor gear.
Yeah. Because Theoden's like, no, you won't fight. You're going to take my stead.
Yeah, because like he pretty much realized like I'm not gonna make it out of this battle.
Yeah.
So you have to step up.
But yeah, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli go to the cave of the dead, and they're like, we can only the king of Gondor can summon us or command us, and he reveals the sword and he blocks the shot from the dead guy. It's like the sword is broken. It's like it was reforged. What say you? Fulfill your oaths, and I promise I will make sure you will rest in peace. And you're just like, sure.
Well, give us like a day.
Yeah.
one working day.
Yeah, I do like that. What say you? And then it cuts. You're like, I hope it works.
I hope it worked. They just had to talk it through.
Yeah.
But you can see, like, they do put scale to, like, this army.
Yeah.
Like, you see them coming out of, like, ethereal plane that didn't exist at that moment.
Yeah.
And that's how much, like, traders, pirates, whatever, has died in these caves.
Yeah, because Isildur cursed them, and the only one to lift up the curse is Aragorn.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut back to Minas Tirith, and they send back the body of Faramir, and you're like, oh shit, I guess he is dead. And the siege begins, and the York tells the catapults to release the prisoners. You're like, oh fuck, that is psychological warfare at its finest.
Oh no, it wasn't prisoners. It was the dead.
Yeah, exactly. Or prisoners.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that messed up.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. All right.
And then Denethor's like, all is lost, flee for your lives, and he gets knocked out by Gandalf. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm the same with Gandalf. Like, this guy is supposed to rule Gondor and like inspire the people. They're supposed to be like probably the strongest kingdom of man.
yeah.
And the head dude's like, it's all lost. We're all dead. Yeah, you do want to punch that guy.
Yeah. And then Gandalf rallies the men. He fires back their own catapults, and this is such a cool siege because like they send for the nozzle and they're just picking people up left, right, and center. Like, oh fuck, how do we win?
Yeah, it was a losing battle when you see it. I'm like, shit, how the fuck do they get out of this one?
Yeah. Fortunately, we have to go back to Frodo and Gollum, where Gollum tricks Frodo into going to the cave. I don't know. And this is why I said, I hope you don't have arachnophobia to anyone who's watching. I should have said this in the beginning, but right now, there are going to be images of Sheila. But yeah, you find out the trap is a big-ass spider web, and you're like, how big is the spider? Oh, fuck.
I hate it. I fucking hate this thing.
Yeah.
So, like Frodo has the light thing from Harry Potter for some reason. And
I don't dare. I like, how dare you?
Yeah, right. He shines it, and all I see is just wall.
Yeah.
And then the walls start to move, and I was like, and I hate that. Like, you know how the spider is like this, with its legs, and it's trying to camouflage with its background. Like, I immediately saw it. I was like, oh no. Oh no.
The scene that makes my skin crawl is when he falls face first into the web and she's right behind him. He can't protect himself with the light, and Gollum's just talking shit, but Gollum's like, I'm out of here.
Oh, then you're like, ha! Oh shit, that thing's getting closer.
Yeah.
No, but like you see him like with Sting, and he's like trying to cut the web around it, and drops Sting. And I was like, good job, dumbass. All right.
And he falls, and Gollum ambushes him, and he manages to fight him off, and he starts wailing on Gollum, and he's like, no, I'm sorry, it was the pressure, I swear. And then,
and of course, dumbass Frodo's like, you're right.
I have to destroy it.
Yeah, it's for the both of us. I'll completely forget the bullshit you made me go through.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot. I'm sorry. If anybody, I don't care if it was my friend and they try to backstab me, it doesn't matter how many years we've been friends. If you make me go through that shit, I'm throwing you off the cliff.
What exactly Frodo does, because Gollum's like, wait, you're going to destroy it? No. And then they fight, and he kicks Gollum off the cliff, or like a crevice. And then
he survives.
Yeah. And then Frodo faints, and then Galadriel's like, passively aggressive, being like, homie, you're the only one that can do this at this point. You better not fail.
Well, and she was like, well, technically you had Samwise Gamgee, but you shoot him away. Who could totally do the job way better than you. But Here's a helping hand, you useless piece of. Sorry.
Speaking of Sam, he's going down. He realized.
By the way, no hate on Elijah Wood. Dude's an amazing actor.
Of course, they know what you mean. Speaking of Sam, he's going down, sobbing, and he's like, "Son of a bitch! He threw the bread." He was that Gollum fainted him. He's like, "I need to help Frodo," and like, there's another scene that makes my skin crawl because Frodo's all alone. He's like looking corner into corner, and you just see
And like the thing is like right above,
yeah.
but it's so quiet. I was like, dude, the entire time I was watching this scene, I was like, I'm like, I hate it. Like, you know, the back of the neck feeling. I'm like, no.
Then she injects him with like copious amounts of venom, and he's paralyzed. And you're like, how does this end? The first time I was watching this, I'm like, how does this end? And then,
yeah, right. Like he gets injected. I was like, ha,
yeah,
used.
And then you see Sam have his first badass moment, and he has Sting on one hand and the light in the other. He's like, you will not touch him anymore.
See the amount of badassery Samwise Gamgee performs.
Yeah.
While this useless thing is just catatonic.
I mean, to be fair, he has a copious amount of venom running through him, so he can't.
Useless.
Sam injured.
Sam was my favorite son.
Sam stabs Sheila up to the point she's like, you know what? I don't think the spray's worth it, and then she retreats.
I love it that the spider's name is Sheila.
Sheila, not Sheila.
Oh, okay. Really?
Oh well. But Sam thinks Frodo's dead until the orcs are like, if this halfling isn't dead, we will make sure he wishes he was dead. And he's like, Sam, you idiot. And then we cut back to the siege, and it's at night. What?
I mean, well, yeah, Sam's a little bit too hard on himself. But like, yeah, I mean, you know, maybe he'll check the pulse or something. I don't know. But he had his eyes like this. He looked dead.
Yeah.
I would have left him.
And then at night we cut back to Minas Tirith, and they have the battering ram, and Gandalf's like, you are men of Gondor. Whatever comes through those doors, you will not flinch. And then 3 trolls come, he's like, oh, that's a problem.
That's just like Gandalf's like, but.
And you see these things wreck the army first, but they are able to kill them with the arrows, and then they're still being overrun. At the same time, Denethor's becoming completely batshit because he's like, my son's dead, and then Pippin's there to be like, wait, he isn't dead, and then Denethor just drags him out. It's like, you're done with your duties. I won't need you anymore. And then Pippin's looking for Gandalf, and then we cut back to. No, we don't cut back to anything. But yeah, there's at one point the siege towers. I think it's a day. I might have skipped the sequence where Gandalf's soloing this wave upon orc, and then Pippin's there, and he saves Gandalf. But Gandalf's like, "There's no place for a hobbit. Even though you did save me, you have to go, buddy."
Mm.
But yeah,
And you gotta love Gandalf being like able to take down a troll with one swipe at the neck.
yeah.
I was like, that shit is badass. I love a battle mage so much.
But yeah, Pippin is looking for Gandalf, and then at one point they are overrun, and he's like, "We have to retreat to the."
Not
Oh, sorry. Gandalf's like, "We have to retreat to the second level," and it's daytime. Thankfully, Theoden's there to kind of relieve some pressure, and he has this speech which goes like, "We're gonna die, but fuck it, we'll die gloriously."
Mm-hmm. And that shit was cool.
Yeah.
I love the whole kind of like, hey, we're all gonna die, but let's just die swinging kind of speech. I was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, and then they all charge, and they do blast a hole, and you're like, maybe they can rout this battle. And then they are like, maybe we can win. And then you see the Oliphants, and you're like, that's a problem. Huh.
I swear to God, like, Middle Earth was just beating Gondor to its knees.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of waves that was just coming. I was like, and, like, this dumbass, what was his name again? Dude from Fringe.
Denethor.
Yeah, this man probably like brought majority of his best soldiers to their deaths,
Yeah,
especially his son, who is a legit really good ranger.
yeah.
And but now he's wounded.
I do like his end where Gandalf bursts into the room and he's already pouring oil on himself, and then Pippin has to save Faramir, and he's grabbing poor Pippin by the neck, and Gandalf uses his horse to just knock him into the fire.
I don't know how that did not kill him or like leave a divot in his skull. That's a horse.
Right?
Yeah, but so, it's just too funny because they kick him off, but the torch lands on the fire pit.
Yeah.
But Pippin was, like there to remove Faramir on time. But he gets, what's his name again? Fuck, I keep forgetting his name.
Denethor?
Denethor gets kicked into the fire.
Yeah.
He lights on fire and runs for like a mile.
He's like, my son's alive. Ah!
And runs for like a mile out of Gondor and into that like little like pointy part of Gondor. Which was the funniest shit for me. I was like, you kind of deserve it.
Yeah.
I like it when assholes have a hilarious death.
Yeah. And then, you see how even though they don't have big weapons, the armies of Rohan can take out the elephants. Because Carl Urban's character takes a spear and just chucks it at one of the elephants, hits the main guy, he dies, and then the elephant gets steered into another elephant. We're like, fuck.
I don't ever want to be near those things though. Not gonna lie. These things are walking dinosaurs, and I'm like, no. I don't even want to be on top of that.
Right?
Like I get it that they're like Mad Max characters who like doesn't care and they're like wild. But I was like, wow, no amount of like money would ever put me on that thing.
And then even A1 gets a cool kill because she like cuts the elephant's Achilles heels, I guess, and then they then orders the people to fire at its head, and that kills it. And you're like, again, you're like, maybe they can. And then you hear the Nazgul, and you see Witch King of Agmar just take out Theoden, and you're like, oh fuck.
Well,
Yeah.
and you gotta give it to this. Sorry, was it Mary? Yeah, it was Mary.
Yeah.
Mary and Awen. Jesus Christ, they could fight.
Yeah.
Like you see, like Mary just like prison shank an orc, and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
And then you see the Drake about to eat Theoden, and Aeon's like, you will not touch him. And he's like, do not get between a Nazgul and his prey. He decapitates the Drake, and then she has this Dark Souls-esque boss fight. You're like, I don't think Aeon's very underleveled, but you can do it. I believe in you. And then you're like, maybe I have too much faith, because she gets knocked back by the maze. And
Yeah.
he's
I
like,
mean, did you see that thing?
yeah.
You just it's a brick on a string.
Right?
Like what the fuck is that?
And then he's like, no man can kill me. And then Mary just present shanks him, and she's like,
Yeah.
I am no man, and just stabs him in the face.
Badass
Yeah.
fucking moment.
And then we cut back to the city, and poor Pippin's like to Gandalf, like, I never imagined the journey would end like this. It's like, end. That is only another part of the journey. It's another journey we have to go to ourselves. And then that comforts Pippin. And then you see reinforcements, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember. Elrond said that they have reinforcements, so how is this going to end? And then the orcs are like, oh, fucking pirates, always late. And then you see Aragorn pop up, and Gimli and Legolas. And you're like, alright, they have the army of the dead, shit. And you see them walk.
We did go over. We kind of passed that part where the pirates were like on their way,
Yeah.
and Aragorn was like, you ain't allowed." And they're like, "What? You in what army? This army?" And then they just swarmed the entire the whole boat.
Yeah, like
Or
Aragorn
fleet.
just used a big fucking cheat code to win the day, essentially. And you see them like crawling on the elephants, and the elephants are like, no thank you, we don't want this.
But that shit's sick though, because the effects for the undead army, or
Yeah,
sorry, the dead army, it's just a wave and like you see the silhouettes of the soldiers, but it's more like they move like a wave,
yeah,
just destroying orcs. I was like, wow, I like this. I like this effect.
yeah. And then they win the battle, and Aragorn's like, "All right, your oaths are fulfilled. You may rest in peace." And they
A little
disappear.
dumbass move from Gimli. He was like, ah, "You sure you wanna, they'll be useful for later battles?" I
Yeah,
was like, "Really, you wanna say that right in front of their faces right
yeah.
now?"
They're like, "But you said we
Yeah.
just wanted
No,
to go
like
away."
what's stopping this guy from taking Gimli's head?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you son of a bitch! It's like that, huh? We are an unstoppable army.
And then we cut back to the orcs with Frodo, and you're like, how's he gonna get out? But they have a fight, and they kill half themselves, which allows Sam to easily rescue Frodo. And at first they're like, oh, what's the thing with two swords? Oh, it's just a hobbit. But Sam just easily takes them out. You're like, oh fuck, Sam.
Sam soloing
Yeah.
an orc camp to save his useless dumb friend. I'm sorry. like Frodo's in bondage position,
Yeah.
and you just see Sam with like akimbo swords and like just dual wielding. I'm like, who's the real hero here? Like legit. And the fact that like he gets to Frodo and he cuts him loose, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I got you this." Was this well, like he brings the ring. The whole time, Sam had the ring on him, and zero corruption.
But it's only like
No,
a few
my
minutes though.
precious. No, that was a few hours.
Fine, I'll
Right,
give it a few hours.
remember the Venom works like he'll be out for a couple of hours,
Hmm.
and they brought him to the camp, and it became nighttime. Sam had that ring for hours. He could have gone through Mordor and finished the war right there, and left his friend to die. I don't know.
But he's not like that, but he rescues Frodo and
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a shit ton of
Samwise
orcs.
Gamgee is a way better man than I am. But
Just-
like,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm really pissed off here.
They-
I do not like Frodo.
There's a shit ton of orcs in their way, and even Aragorn and the rest realize that we're like, we don't know if Frodo's alive, but we'll have this last Hail Mary. It's either we'll go out swinging, or we'll give Frodo enough time. And that's exactly what they do. They go to the Black Gate, and they call out Sauron, and then Aragorn gives a speech which goes like, I'm sorry, I'm not saying word for word. He says,
You're paraphrasing.
I see the fear in your eyes, but there may be a day when the courage of men fail and we forsake our friends and the bonds of fellowship, but it is not today. And I call upon you men to stand and fight, and that's what they do. And before he charges, he hears like, Aragorn. You're like, oh shit, Sauron's like, man, we're winning. Why are you on their side? Just turns around, he's like, for Frodo. Yeah, it's like kind of like an end game.
And I'll be like that one soldier at the back. And Sam.
I'll be the other one being like, what did he say?
It's another like end game like Sam. What?
Charge? Okay.
Oh fuck!
And then,
I'll just be that guy who'd be like, oh fuck, oh shit, nobody said anything.
and then we cut back to Sam and Frodo, and the burden's too much for Frodo, and he falls down, and Sam's like, remember all the good things in life? Frodo's like, I can only remember the ring. Sam's like, let us be done with it then. You know, if I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. And he,
Again, Sam can carry the ring.
yeah.
Again, it's just odd. Why does Frodo have to be such that? Okay, I'll stop. But yeah, Sam, being the Chad that he is, carries Frodo on his shoulders
Yeah.
and goes forth. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Again, who is the real hero here? Again, I'm sorry.
And then you cut back to the battle, and you're like, maybe, especially since Gandalf calls in the Eagles to take out the Nazgul, like, maybe they have a chance. But you see, like, a troll coming closer to Aragorn, you're like, please, God, I hope this has a happy ending. At this point in my life, I already started Game of Thrones, so I'm like, please, God, Tolkien, don't do this to me. But thankfully, that doesn't happen. But Frodo and Sam are still climbing up the mountain.
I am very surprised. Aragorn had like a whole foot on him
Yeah.
from a like what was it?
Troll?
A troll?
Yeah.
And I was like, how is his ribs still okay?
Right? Unless Sauron's like, I want you to make him suffer slowly.
Well, but yeah, and here comes a stupid scene again. Sorry.
What? Gollum being ambushing Sam and Frodo?
Oh no! That's fine. That's fine. I get to see Gollum get this ass beat, so it's fine.
Yeah. And then Frodo makes a beeline, like he's at the cliff, the same cliff Isildur was, and sounds like just drop the ring, and you hear the music.
Sorry. The other thing that made me pissed off was Sam was like, Mr. Frodo, hide.
Yeah.
He goes like and tucks in, and the eye was like coming like towards Frodo's way, and Frodo's like, oh. I'm like,
but yeah,
useless. Okay, anyway.
No matter how many times I see this movie, when you hear the eerie music when Frodo has the ring, and like it's at the end, and you're like, I know how this ends, but I'm still like, Frodo, just fucking drop it. What's wrong with you?
Stop being useless and just drop it.
And then he takes the ring. He's like, the ring is mine. And the first time I saw this, like, oh my fucking god. Like, there's no other sequels after this. What happens?
You know, Sam is a way better man than I am. Because if I was in Sam's place, I would have just Spartan kicked Frodo into the lava pit. Like, alright, 2 problems solved. And then just stab Gollum as he came at me. Like, that's it.
But I love seeing the eyes reaction. He's like, where's that little... Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck. I love how they put so much expression into just one mono eye.
Yeah.
And then, like, its eyes like...
It's like, oh my god, it's in Mount Doom already. Now you'll help.
Quickly! It's because, like, Frodo puts the ring on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Gollum's still there, and he bites off his finger, and Frodo's enraged, and he pushes off Gollum into the lava pit, but he doesn't care. He's like, I still have my precious.
Yeah, here's another thing. Frodo didn't toss the ring into the fire or the lava pit. Frodo was trying to recover it. Not the hero. It fell by accident. Stupid! Sorry.
But
Boycott
Frodo. Sam rescues Frodo and they make their escape, but the others don't know that because they're like... Of
course he does.
They don't know that they just see the
It's
eye...
the 5th time this entire movie. I'm sorry. I am not done with Frodo.
But yeah, they see the eye collapse and you're like, alright, Frodo! And then they're like, cool! And then they see the mountain explode, they're like, oh fuck, Frodo was there. But you don't have any construction.
It's like, Frodo! I'm like, man, I'm glad he's dead. Useless piece of shit. Sorry.
And then...
Again, not sorry.
Sam and Frodo end up on this island. They're like, guess this is it. We'll just stay here. And then it cuts to black. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And then thankfully...
Which was this... It was the saddest thing, too. Like, if you haven't watched the movie before, why are you watching this movie?
Unless you're just curious.
Yeah. Or you don't care. But if you haven't watched the movie before, and you see these 2 hobbits on a cliff surrounded by lava, and tired, dehydrated, and hungry, and they're on their last leg of their lives, and they're starting to reminisce. Frodo is starting to get his, like, oh, I'm remembering the feel of the Shire, food, the things I love. And Sam goes, like, oh, this girl in the Shire, she's the one I want to marry.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that was sad.
It feels like red flags.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. Even though we watched it already, we were like, how are they going to write Eagles?
Yeah. I thought the first time it was going to cut to black and Gandalf being like, he was a brave hobbit. They both were. You're like, are you fucking kidding me? No!
He was a brave hobbit. And Frodo was there too.
There you, sir. Anyway, But yeah, Eagles and then Eagles ex Machina, and they're rescued. And Frodo wakes up in Minas Tirith, and the Fellowship is reunited once again. Uh, and like I like how he doesn't mention Legolas's name. He's like, "Oh, I guess we were never close. Fuck you then."
Right?
Yeah,
Like, Merry Pippin, Frodo and Sam, Gimli and Aragon.
yeah. Who are you
Huh?
again?
They've been to war like how many times?
Yeah, like,
With
you little
several
shit.
characters. Like Gimli was even alive, and him and Legolas were already like friends.
Yeah. um, and then we cut to the coronation of Aragorn, who is now the king of Gondor, king of Middle Earth, essentially. And then he's reunited with Arwen, and then Eowyn's just like off in a corner drinking booze or whatever. She's like, wow.
Oh no. Faramir was like, "Hey, I just met you,
All right, she ends up with
but this is
Simon.
crazy."
Like, I just had the craziest 24-hour experience. How was your 24 hours?
Don't get me started.
Yeah.
And then they just bonded through the bullshit that they went through because of their parents.
Yeah. And then it's a very touching scene because once he gets to the Hobbit, it's like, my friends, no one bows to you. Oh, sorry,
That
you bow to no one. Fuck.
you about to know. The man fucks up the greatest line in this movie.
Yeah, you bow to no one,
And
and that gives me chills every time.
all fucking time I watch this fucking movie, like every fucking time, sorry. I can't grammar because this scene was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Is that the whole time everybody's looking up to Aragon like he's the one who won the war.
Yeah.
But the fact that these hobbits, these things that like probably, this race has never seen war, and these four have, and gone through it and won.
Yeah.
You gotta give them a shit ton of credit.
Yeah.
And the fact that like everybody just bowed to the four hobbits. I was like, yes, yeah.
Cut to 13 months later, and they're back in the Shire. And the farmer that Pippin and Merry stole from are like, you may be heroes, but you're still little shits.
Yeah, I love that. Like that farmer still has self-respect. Like no matter what you did, you guys are kids.
Yeah. And then they're at the bar, they're still like, I can't believe we've gone through that shit. And then Sam sees the girl he wants to marry. He's like, fuck it, I'll go for it. And they're like, wow, Sam pulls.
Well, Sam pulled,
Yeah.
because the next scene was him getting married.
Yeah. And then Frodo completes the books. They're
Wait. Sorry. Excuse me. No shit, Sam pulls. Did you see him throughout this fucking movie? Okay.
I'm not saying their expression. They're like, holy shit, Sam pulls.
Yeah.
But yeah, Frodo completes the books there and back again by his uncle Bilbo, and then he completes his chapter, which is The Lord of the Rings. And then he tells Sam, like, they're not completely done yet, there's still space. And then he rides with Bilbo, because he's been granted, like, elf heaven, I guess, the afterlife. And then they go, and Gandalf's time is there too. He's like, I guess here on the shores is where our fellowship ends. And then he's like, come on, Frodo. And they're like, huh? You fuckhead, you didn't say anything.
Yeah, good riddance.
You're
Useless.
right.
No, but it was a sad scene though.
Yeah.
Because you do see how these four guys, after this was like 4 years after the war, right? After they came back to from
Minas Tirith.
Minas Tirith to the Shire. It's a span of 4 years. Sam got married and he has kids. But for Frodo, dude seemed like he was on his last leg.
Yeah, it's like, there's nothing else to live for if we save Middle Earth. I've saved Middle Earth.
No, you didn't.
Blew my candles from both ends, and what else is there to do? And they say their goodbyes, and you cut to Sam. He's like, I can this is good life.
Mm. And it was a sad scene to see, like the boys seeing your
Yeah.
best friend just go.
Like, every time.
Yeah. A
Even
lot of
now,
crying.
even now, I'm like, ah, my eyes are leaking again. Why?
Yep, same here. Even though I find them useless.
But yeah, that's the end. And like, this is the only fantasy movie ever to get like 11 Oscar nominations, and it won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Editing, I think, and Best Costume Design. Among the 11 awards, it won. Like, I think that's the biggest like sweepstake in Oscar history.
Yep. Well, I say it deserved it.
Yeah. But yeah, what would you rate The Return of the King?
2 out of 10. Okay.
There goes
No,
our
no,
credibility.
yeah.
We have to
No,
fight
no.
forever for that. Thank you, John Martin.
I'm gonna give this one a solid 9. Like everything was so good. Everything tied in so perfectly. Like it came full circle. Everything that was like happening there and what was happening here, they all came into one place, and I loved seeing it. I loved the entire journey. Yes, it is 4 hours, but those 4 hours flew by so fast.
Yeah.
Except for those scenes when Frodo showed his face. Those took like forever. But anyway.
This entire title should be, why does John Martin hate Frodo?
Yeah. Frodo hero? Question mark?
Eh?
Yeah. No, yes, you have heard my gripes about this one character, but this one character does not deduct points from the movie itself. This is an end of a journey, an end of an epic. We are getting another epic, which is Doom, and I gotta hope we get that same feeling the way we did with Lord of the Rings. And I really can't wait for this whole trilogy to come out.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a really good journey, and they tied it, with a very nice knot. So 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll go one step above. I'll give us a down then. Just has a great ending, a great characters, great story. Say what you will about Frodo, but just the catharticness of like, oh fuck, they finally defeated Sauron. And honestly, revisiting this trilogy, I'm like, you know what? This does beat out the original Star Wars in my head. Like it was already,
Oh crap!
yeah.
Star Wars is trash compared to the storytelling in this fucking movie.
You see Star Wars, I was like, oh fucking, I'm sorry. I would say trash. I'm just saying, if you can compare Lord of the Rings to Star Wars, it edges it out a bit more for me and John Martin. Just excellent storytelling, and the fact that they landed this so well, and especially since we've seen multiple franchises be like, we can land as well. No, you can't. Star Wars and Jurassic World, you tried, and Game of Thrones, you tried, and you crashed, fucking burned. Fuck. But yeah, down.
Well, they do have the Hobbit, which did not really do
yeah,
that.
but for like this set,
Yeah, for
this
just
three.
for just this little pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because like Return of the Jedi, like it's not the best compared to Empire, and Empire's like the best among Jedi and A New Hope. So yeah, there's that. Whereas
Yep.
you're like, nope, all three are excellent.
Yep. Yes. Like there's no. I can't pick a favorite because these three movies need each other
Yeah,
to be a great whole.
yeah. But yeah, as John mentioned, we will start the lesser popular or perfect trilogy after this one.
We are.
Yeah, a new journey begins.
Oh fuck! Damn, am I going to where Frodo's going?
But yes, that's been our video for The Return of the King. If you want to see more of us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. If you want to hear us on the go, we have a Spotify podcast. I have weird accents. I don't know why. But yeah,
Like, God.
hear us on the road. You can hear us talk about this trilogy on Spotify too. We'll upload that pretty soon.
Yeah.
And if you want to see us relive our greatest moments and bloopers, we have a TikTok. If you want to see us react to trailers, we have a Facebook. That's facebook.com/geekanddegenerates. We also stream video games and about our lives from time to time.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Individually, you can find me at Gandalfus1995 on IG and Twitter. How about you?
You can find me at JomGeom on Instagram. It is my art account.
And like the end of this trilogy, this is the end for our time on this video, at least. But yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody.
Ciao. And again, Frodo is useless. Bye.